So last week I did a video about Paul Feig or Feig, whatever, talking about how the reason why Ghostbusters 2016 failed is because of the presidential campaign in 2016. Just it's just embarrassing to me that these people are saying this, and the fact that he can't let it go is just. It's been 4 years, bro. Work on your next project. But I wanted to do a video because I never actually did a review on this film when it first came out. I didn't even watch it when it first came out. I mean, I did, but not like the day it came out or anything. I saw it later on. I never got to really talk about it because honestly, I did not want to watch it. And the reason why is because it wasn't even like the controversy behind it. It was like what James Rolfe said on Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd, when he said that I just don't really care about this reboot. It's a shameless money grab. Ghostbusters, the original, is a classic, and it just didn't feel authentic. And that first trailer was horrible. That first trailer that came out for that film was absolutely terrible. And it's one of those things where, I just couldn't even, it was so bad. It was just so not funny. It had that awkward sort of humor, and I was worried the film was going to be like that. And when you watch the movie, it was. Now, initially, when I first saw this film, this is going to be kind of like a review on it, but really the name of this video is going to be why Ghostbusters 2016 was not good. Mr. Plinkett went into it way better than I did, but I'm not going to have this video be too long. I'm going to keep it short and give you my opinion. So when I first saw the movie, I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. I thought it was just, I was kind of numb to it. Okay, this is really stupid, but whatever, it's fine. And then there was, a little bit of time where I got to sit on it. And then when I saw the extended cut, when I watched the extended cut of the film, that's when I actually started to really grow a lot of dislike for this film. Now, a lot of people on the internet always talk about the whole woke thing and the whole, pro-women, anti-man thing, male bashing and all that. And I think a lot of people point that finger in the wrong direction. I think people point that finger to films and to people who aren't really in that sphere. However, it's very hard to deny that Ghostbusters 2016 actually has some of that in there. That's not really what makes the movie bad, but it is something that it is noticeable, is what I'm trying to tell you. When you watch the extended cut of the movie, it just becomes very apparent that every man in the movie is either an asshole or a moron. You're either an idiot or you're a prick. And there's no, positive male in the film that's actually, a decent human being. None. Not even the Ghostbusters ladies' parents. Nothing. They're all just pricks. Every single one of them. And then, the cameos from the old actors, like Sigourney Weaver and Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, just felt hey, we know you love the old movie, but we're gonna throw in some of these old actors to kind of make you laugh. And it didn't work for me. Dan Aykroyd was funny, and that was the only thing. And it did not work for me. And it was stupid. It was just, it felt like they were, instead of tributing the old movie, they were making fun of the old movie. Now, I don't think that Paul Feig really meant for that to be the case, but that's how it came off. The problem with this film is the storytelling of the film, which is supposed to be about these four women that start a business together, which is what the original film was about, except they were males, and they have to, deal with catching ghosts and the problem with the world and this apocalyptic terror that's coming. That the same thing as the original film. It is it does borrow the same plot from the old film. It's not identical, obviously. The villain is different, and the way that they get together is different. The locations, all that's different, but it is the same, almost beat for beat plot. But I feel like the movie focused too much on, it took too long to get there. The original Ghostbusters worked because it's a character-driven film. You know what I mean? You've got, Peter Venkman, Winston. You've got everybody who kind of are their own sort of characters. And in this movie, you have really charismatic actresses playing these characters. And some scenes are actually pretty funny. I think Kate McGinnis was my favorite in the movie because she was actually kind of funny. She was kind of like the troll of the group. She was kind of the Bill Murray, the Venkman of the group. And I thought she was probably the most delightful, but I like her in everything. She's a very good actress, very funny, very, very funny. Leslie Jones is also very, very funny, but it also felt very stereotypical. They felt like caricatures in many ways, and some of the jokes fell flat. Actually, not some. Almost every joke in the movie fell flat. The dance sequence with Chris Hemsworth, the Chris Hemsworth scenes were good because he's funny charismatically and he's good on screen, but some like the dance sequence was just embarrassing. Like I'm watching it and I'm like, this is like one of those cheap Disney like TV movies. You know what I mean? Feels like, from Justin to Kelly, like that kind of garbage. You know what I mean? That trash, that schlock from like 20 years ago. That's what this felt like. And I just wonder if any of the producers looked at it and said, this is like stupid schlock. Like we're past this. Like the movie feels like it should have come out. This movie feels like it should have come out 20 years ago. This is one of those like soul plane type of like, Scary Movie 4 where the comedy's not really funny and they just hammer it home to where it gets boring and stupid. That's what this felt like. That's what this movie felt like. But back to the plot. So they spent too much time on things that didn't matter instead of on developing the characters. They spent too much time on things like, and besides the fact that the whole thing was very unrealistic, because, the way that she gets fired from the university and all that, university professors don't get terminated like that. It's very hard to actually terminate somebody at that level. And in the movie, they terminate her over a book that she wrote, which to me is just mind-blowingly unrealistic. But again, I can forgive that because this is a movie. Fine, we'll just go with it. But they spent so much time on building the business and not the characters, showing the technology and things like that, doing some slapstick comedy, in the movie. And I just felt like it took away from the plot, And the scene where the Ghostbusters go to the concert, I felt was just so bad. Like Leslie Jones with the ghost like on her shoulder, and the way she was acting that, I don't know if it's a black thing or a woman thing, but it's like, but what about the other women? Like it's just the jokes don't even make any sense, And from what I understand, a lot of the film was improv, and there are some movies that can benefit from improv. But the problem with this movie, the fundamental issue is on the script level. I understand them wanting to write in jokes and improv them. I totally understand that. But the problem is that the jokes drag on and on and on and on and on. Like they'll make a joke in the film, then they'll make the same joke again and again and again and kind of just drag it on to the point where you're like, okay, get to the next joke. It wasn't witty and quick like the old Ghostbusters. It wasn't like kind of smarmy, sarcastic like the old Ghostbusters. They tried to do that, but they just hammered it home to where it was really dumb. It was just really, really, ineffective. Very ineffective. But the problem is the script. There's not enough good writing in the script. Not enough good jokes. You can improv some stuff, but the script itself has to be funny. And it's just not. It's just not funny at all. The budget for this movie was tremendously high. And they spent a lot of it on special effects. Because the movie has these crazy special effects. But the problem is, the special effects look horrible. Like the final sequence where the Ghostbusters fight the ghosts, in the city and it's overrun and there's like all that green and it looks like a really bad video game. And I mean like a bad video game. Just really bad. So I'm just looking at this like, this is what they spent their money on? Like, couldn't they have taken that money and hired a good comedy script writer and made a better script? Oh God, it was horrible. And just, everything about it, just the constant trying to reference the old films while also disrespecting them annoyed me. It's just, and again, the whole thing about the male, like the female supremacy, that didn't really bother me that much until I saw the extended cut because I didn't feel like, I'm not one of those like guys who feels, oh God, they're taking away my manhood. That's pussy shit, bro. That's what fucking these moronic incels think. That's not me. But I felt like it was done to where it got annoying. You know what I mean? I was more so annoyed at it. I was annoyed and I was like, okay, what is the purpose of this? Like, how is this funny? How is this going to attract a wide audience? Why did you put these jokes in this movie? Why did you make every male character behave like this? Like, why? What is the purpose? And some are going to say it's because of an agenda, and maybe it is, but that agenda clearly failed because, and there's also a lot of anti-internet stuff in this movie, which I understand why, because they did some reshoots after the trailer, and probably, they're making fun of the reaction to the trailer, but, dude, that trailer was horrible. And even Paul Feig himself admitted it was horrible. And this guy's he's done good comedy in the past, Freaks and Geeks was kind of his thing, like, he's done interesting shows, but this movie was a failure, and the more that this guy keeps trying to defend it, it's like, dude, take the L, like, every filmmaker has one film that's just not going to be a classic. Just take the L. You did not make a funny movie. You know, he says there's a 3.5 hour cut of the movie. Who would want to watch that if every joke in the movie, like there are scenes in this movie that you could have cut out to make it like really short and it would have made it a better film. There's stuff in the movie you could have cut out. The movie's too long already. It's too long. It's too drawn out already. And this motherfucker's talking about how we have a bigger cut of the movie. We're going to put it out. Like he's Snyder or something like that. He's Zack Snyder. Like, no, dude, nobody wants to see more of this. Because when I saw more of it in the extended cut, I was like, this sucks even worse. The extended cut sucked even worse. It was the reverse Batman v Superman, right? Where, you know, you watch the extended cut, you're like, oh, okay, this is a little bit better. No, the extended cut of Ghostbusters 2016 is It's worse. It's worse. So I can't even imagine what a 3.5 hour cut of these ladies, you know, just talking forever and bad slapstick humor. I cannot even imagine how bad that would be. I can't. You know, I just can't. It was just not a good film, point blank. Has nothing to do with the political stuff. The political stuff was just kind of mildly annoying. It's just that the movie's not funny and the plot is rehashed and not interesting. That's the plot. The bottom line. It's just not a good movie. That's it. That's it. If you liked it, great. If you liked the film, no problem. I like some bad movies as well, but this is a bad movie and I did not like it. So that's my little review on Ghostbusters 2016. I know it's old, but it's back in the news again, so I figure I would give my thoughts on the movie. And I think I actually still have the extended cut somewhere. I have a digital version of it, so I think I still have it somewhere. I don't even want to watch it. Like, I thought about watching it again just to see if I still hate it, but it's a waste of time. There's just good movies out there and good video games to play without popping in Ghostbusters 2016, dude. Fuck off. I'd rather play the Ghostbusters video game. That's the real fucking third movie. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and love you guys.